This lab, we're going to use ChatGPT to post individual journal entries to a trial balance. If you are in my other course, we'll show how to do this in Excel. But here we're going to use it and see if it can do these accounting processes. Specifically, we're going to ask the question, can Gen AI be used to post journal entries and create a trial balance, whether that be unadjusted or adjusted trial balance? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and see if we can download the appropriate data. So we're going to go and find the Lab 8 data here and go ahead and read that in. So we see it has the date, the journal entries, the account name, and whether it be a debit or a credit. So we could also go ahead and just ask it to provide, so I'm just going to say please provide a data dictionary. And I do this just to make sure that it is able to find and able to interpret the things the same way I have. So in the lab notes that are available down below with step-by-step instructions, it will tell you specifically what is in the data dictionary, but you can see if it got it right, essentially. And so let's go ahead and wait just a second to do that. So it has the date, it looks like it has the journal entry number, the account name, the debit, credit, entered, or approved. And so it's got that information. So it looks like it has what we need. So let's go ahead and continue that way. And so now we're going to apply some analytics techniques. And so what I'm going to ask it to do is to summarize. And if you recall that summarization is a descriptive analytics technique. Summarize transactions by account name and their respective debits and credits. Okay, so I'm just asking kind of for totals. And so does it know enough accounting to know to add, the debits for a certain account name or the credits and provide that. Now what I often find when it does this is that it provides some debits and some credits. And so it doesn't know to sum them or net them out. And so looks like there's an extra space, and so we'll see if it can recover on that and clean it up. Not exactly sure where that extra space is, but sometimes it looks for different things. You can see that extra space right there, looks like. But here's the various balances there provided. But you see, for example, accounts receivable has both a debit and a credit balance. And I would like the net of those because that's what's going to appear in the trial balance. And see if it will show the normal account balance. So for example, accounts receivable, the normal balance would be 45,200 less 25,000. So let's just simply see if it's able to do that. And so I say if debits are greater than credits, hey, calculate net debits. Okay, so as debits minus credits. So here I've got the original debits and credits, and now I have the net debits. Okay, but you're going to see some, for example, this one, it should have a net credit. So I've got to also perform the same analysis by computing the net credit or net credits if the credit is greater than the debit. And I'm going to go ahead and fix this and just write credits. Okay, and let's go ahead and run that. So I want to provide both net debits and net credits. Okay, so it looks like it's completed that analysis, and looks like I should be able to scoot over here and see the net debits and the net credits. So what I'd like it to do now is to provide a trial balance. In other words, something very similar to what's provided here. But the trial balance is going to first provide a summary for each of them and order first by balance sheet accounts and then by income statement accounts. I don't know if it can do this, so let's see if it can. And maybe that's something that I could provide later. I have some other data sets that tell it explicitly which is which, but let's just see if it can do it. So far so good. Okay, it looks like all of those accounts up through bad debt expense look to be all balance sheet accounts, and then after that it looks to be all income statement accounts. So it's ordered in the appropriate way. And since it's got all of those parts and it seems to know what the income is, I'm going to ask it to calculate net income using the income statement accounts. So it's going to hopefully provide me the net debit, or in this case the net credit. If we actually have a positive net income, it should be a net credit, and be able to provide that. So it looks like it's calculated and that number looks to be correct. And so now as I go and try to tell this story, or share the results, I'm going to see if I can get it to put revenues on top and provide me that detail. Now this is something I could continue to work on and ask it provide detail and totals, rather than net debits or debt credits. That's something that I could provide. And so it looks like it's done that, but it looks like it's didn't know to use net debits, which is fine. So then I'm able to get it to, I'm trying to see if I can get it to scoot over, and so I'm just going to so you can kind of see it there. So in fact it did do it in the appropriate order with revenues on top. I need to know a little bit more, and I'd have to work a little more on formatting it. And maybe I just want to go take this and output it into Excel, where I could maybe work on a little bit more. So I'm going to tell it to save it to an Excel file, and specifically the name of that Excel file. And then I can go kind of format it a little bit further, or I could just ask for the further. Now, every once in a while it does this. It gets a little lazy and doesn't actually output it to a file. It says it's going to, but it doesn't. And so I'm going to actually give it the same instruction again and see if it will output it. I find it get a little lazy, so I've been using it a lot today. This is kind of funny. It says, hey, we already did that, and I'm still not seeing that. And so this is sometimes a constraint there. And perhaps it's gotten tired through the day. I know that sounds funny, but because there are usage limits, and I've used it a fair amount today, it might not be willing to do that. So now I'm asking it to display the prompts, and that completes this lab.